You're about to learn a single strategy to bring in more agency clients this week. Now, if you're just getting started with your SMMA, then you want to stick around because this is the exact same strategy that I currently use in my agency to generate leads and to book more clients. If you're new here, my name is Armando and I help local businesses use the internet to bring in more leads and book more jobs. And if that's your interest, then subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the other videos. Now, before I jump in, I want to get something right out of the way. Running an agency or starting your SMMA agency is a business. And like any real business, there is a cost associated with business. There are business expenses. There's no such thing as free traffic. There's no such thing as something that is going to be given to you. Every type of business that's out there has some sort of cost. So what we're going to be doing here is setting up a simple Facebook ad. And for the sake of this, I love to keep everything simple. I don't believe in complicated funnels and complicated methods. I don't believe in spamming Facebook groups, cold DMing people until they block you. I don't believe in any of those time wasting activities. In order to generate more business, you got to have an in versus an out. And that's exactly what I'm going to cover here. One of the strategies that has been the most successful to us is creating a simple Facebook ad. So I'm going to walk you through the exact same process that we do in order to set this up. Very first thing is you're going to be in the back end of Business Manager, and you should already have a Business Manager account. You should already have a Facebook page for your business. And it doesn't really matter what type of agency you're starting. It could be an SEO agency. It could be generating clients for web design, for graphic design. It could be for Facebook ads, for YouTube ads, for Google ads. It doesn't really matter. This method works for anybody who's running an agency. So very first thing is go ahead and click Create. And we're going to create a campaign. And for this campaign, we're going to do the opposite of what all the gurus are teaching, right? We're not going to be setting up any fancy funnels or any fancy, software or anything like that. All we're going to do is simply sell how people buy. You're going to sell how you buy. We're going to have direct conversations with people. And if those people are interested in the stuff that we've got, then we're going to move them to the next step in the sales process and close them as clients. So the objective that you're going to pick is going to be engagement. Once you pick your objective, we are going to have the campaign structure already built out from Facebook. What you want to do is just give this campaign something that makes sense to you, a name that makes sense to you. Come down here to where it says Advanced Campaign Budget. And it's up to you whether you want to leave this on or off. We've actually tested both of these and we haven't really seen a big difference. So for the sake of this training, I'm just going to shut mine off here and leave it alone. Next thing that you want to do is go to the actual ad set section of this entire ad. And we're going to follow the exact same steps that we did before. You're going to go ahead and name this something that makes sense so that you can identify it later. Now you're given a few options here under conversions. This is going to be where you want the actual conversion to happen. This is different than it was just a few months ago with Facebook, but what you want to choose is the messaging app conversion here. And then what you want to do is come down here to the ad type and select click to message. Make sure that that is selected. Once you do that, you're going to come to the messaging app here and you're going to pick where you want your ad to be active. If you're using Instagram, then pick Instagram. If your jam is WhatsApp, then pick WhatsApp. For us, it's typically almost always Messenger here where I'm at in the US. The next thing that you're going to come do here is actually set your budget here. Once you've got that set up, the following item that you need to adjust is actually the audience section. Here is where you are going to actually select your audience, the country of origin that you want to target businesses in, and the type of businesses that you want to target is important as well. Obviously, adjust all your demographics. Typically, an 18-year-old is not going to be your ideal demographic, so you want to adjust this accordingly to the type of business owner or businesses that are out there that you want to target, whatever that niche is. Now, before I move any further, if you want to jump deeper into this process and you want to really dive in and start to generate clients this week, I have a mini workshop. You can go to getsmmaclients.com or actually click the link in the description of this video that simply walks you through the entire process in more details. We give you the offer that we use for our clients and how we attract those. We actually show you the local niches that we go after, the profitable ones. once, and we'll give you a copy and paste system along with the ads and all the automations that come behind it, even a slide deck of what our presentation looks like when we pitch to our clients. If you want to go ahead and check that out, you can go and check out the link in the description of this video. Once you have your audience set up, your targeting set up in here, the next thing that you're going to want to do is come to placements. Now, we typically don't want to waste time and don't want to waste our budget on placements that are not going to convert. We like to set things up manual placements, and we like to go and only target the placements that are actually going to be profitable for us. So if the ad that you're setting up is going to be a video ad, then keep some of the video placements on. But if the ad that you're setting up does not have a video component, then I want you to go ahead and uncheck all the video options in here, because it's just going to be a wasted amount of money that you're going to be spending on here. Also, you want to adjust things accordingly. If you don't have an Instagram account, or if you're running only Facebook ads, go ahead and unselect Instagram, because you don't want to run Instagram ads. Now, on the other hand, if you do want to run Instagram ads and your ideal customer is mainly on Instagram, then just select the Instagram only option so that you can get those messages inside of your inbox. Once you've set that up, the next thing that you're going to come do is actually set the ad up. This is where your creative, your offer, your call to action is going to take place. Now, very first thing that you want to do, make sure you verify your page and you're on the right page if you've got more than one pages. The next thing that you want to do is click on single image and video, and we're actually going to upload our media in here. So click on add media, click on add media again, and this is going to bring you to the media library. And what I recommend for graphics is to actually pick something that is eye-opening, something that is going to attract the ideal customer to it. Maybe something with words. You know, I like to use direct response colors, the yellows, the blacks, the blues, the whites, the oranges. Those kind of things always work out for us. Now, if you want to, like I said, if you want to get our exact offer, how we structure our offer, you want to see behind the scenes of our real metrics behind everything and how we kind of have the conversation with people all the way to closing the deal, check out our mini workshop where we kind of go into details of how that whole process works. Once you have your image, just actually plug it in here, put your primary text in here of whatever your offer is going to be. Make sure that your offer is pretty solid. One thing I do want to touch on is that the offer is pretty much everything. So if you have a weak offer, you're not going to have a lot of success. You're going to have to create an offer that actually is strong, and think in terms of delivery. You want an offer to actually solve the problem that the other person is having. Simply saying, I'm going to generate 5 clients for you is not a strong enough offer. You have to get inside the conversation that people are having inside of their head with themselves in order to have a strong, solid offer. Next thing that you're going to do is actually set your call to action in here. It could be book now, it could be learn more. For us, we either do learn more or messages, and we leave it alone. And the last thing that we're going to be creating in here, in this section here, is actually in this message template here. We are going to have a conversation with somebody, so the first message is actually going to be very, very important. We typically set up a couple of questions only, and we kind of reinforce what we're saying in the ad. So if our ad is an offer for, let's say, a window cleaning company, then we're going to say, hey, are you a window cleaning company that is looking for A, B, C, D? And once they click that, then they're entered into a conversation with us. You're going to go ahead and save that form once you adjust your questions accordingly. Now, once your ad is published, it's going to go to Facebook for approval. They're going to go through their process, and the ad's going to start to run. Now, I want to show you what happens after that, because this is extremely important, and this is actually where the sauce is. Now, what happens next is once you run an ad, people are actually going to message you, and you are going to have conversations with these people in the actual DMs in here. And they're going to ask questions about your services. They're going to ask questions about your offer. They're going to ask questions about whether they can call you, what the price is, demos. Your goal is to take these people from Facebook Messenger and actually have some sort of text conversation or a next step where you can get them on the phone or, on a Zoom call and explain your services to them so that hopefully you guys are a good match and you can sell them. During this process is just like buying locally. You're trying to meet somebody, you're trying to establish a relationship, you're trying to see if the person behind the screen is actually real, or if they're full of it, or if they're going to say and deliver what you think they're going to deliver based on pricing. Now, what happens next is a little bit of automation, and it's something that you eventually get to. What you're looking at here on the screen is our tool that we use. And again, there's a link to this tool and all the resources that I mentioned in this video in the description. But if you decide to kind of go through our mini workshop there, we actually give you all the automations and all the follow-up sequences that go along with that. So here's what you're looking at here is leads that have come in for our company or for my agency this week. And as you can see, we've got 24 leads that are brand new that have come in. We've actually booked 6 calls. We've qualified 5 other leads, and we've closed 11 of those leads, and 6 have not been were just simply not the right fit for us. Okay, and what we do here is in automations, we set up a trigger that when somebody messages us through that Facebook page, we want to capture a little bit more information from them. So here's what our automation looks like. When somebody messages us there, obviously we don't want to be on Facebook the entire time having to deal with people who may not be of interest. So we allow this tool to connect to Facebook and reply via Messenger on behalf of us. So when somebody replies in Messenger with one of our prompted questions there, we create an opportunity so that these leads are put onto our pipeline and our team can manage them. And then we add a contact tag to them, making sure that they understand kind of where they came from. We wait about a half a second, and then we reach out to them via Messenger and we say, hey, we need a little bit more information. Here's kind of what we do, and we would really love to speak to you to see if we can kind of make something work, or if this is something that you're even interested in. From here, we have an entire follow-up sequence that takes place afterwards. And here's what our follow-up sequence looks like. Once a lead is submitted through Facebook and we initiate the conversation and we're able to gather that phone number, that email address, we continue to nurture these people and ask them about what we want, assuming that they don't book on our calendar directly. A lot of times we're going to have a percentage of people who just pick a time to talk, and we just get on a 15-minute conversation with them or a 10-minute conversation. And it's just a casual back and forth of questions to see if we're a good fit, and then we go from there. Now, we explain everything again in the mini workshop. You can even hear recorded conversations that I've had with real people to show you how we kind of close those deals. But what we do is we follow up with text message, we follow up with email. If for some reason those people don't reply within, let's say, a day, we continue to follow up with them the following day, even with a voicemail drop, up until 3-4 days in advance. If those people do reply, then we typically book them into a calendar so that we can just have a 10-minute conversation, explain the process, and kind of close the deal. Now, this is by far the easiest way to get new clients for your agency. If you're just getting started with SMMA, this is actually going to be the less friction. Okay, it's going to actually cut the learning curve, because you don't need to worry about cold DMs. You don't need to worry about crafting cold emails. You don't need to worry about cold calling. You don't have to pump out tons and tons of content in order to do this. You just simply have to get your right offer and the right message in front of the right people. Now, I want to share with you some results that we get using this method. As you can see, what you're looking at right now is going to be it's a campaign that we ran. And what you're looking at the results here, we had 124 conversations that we generated just from this type of campaign. Our cost per conversation, or our cost per lead, is $3.26 on just a $20 a day ad budget. And we didn't start with $20 a day. We actually started with much less, and we increased that as we were able to take on more capacity. We spent a total of $400 on this campaign, and that actually generated us a ton of deals that actually closed as a result of that campaign. Now, you got to think about it this way. Even at that kind of cost, if you were able to close one client, say that you're terrible at sales and you were able to close one person, that would be an extremely profitable campaign depending on the services that you offer. Now, we do this exact same campaign for pretty much every industry, or every industry that we can create offers for, from carpet cleaning to junk removal to moving leads to dryer vent, to dumpster rental, HVAC, electrical, pretty much all service businesses. And we're able to gather these businesses, have conversations with those business owners, and see if we're the right fit for them. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. of this video. And if you're interested in truly growing your SMMA the right way without breaking the bank, and you want to get leads and you want to have conversations this week, then go ahead and check out the mini workshop that we've got linked up in the description of this video. And I'll see you guys on the next one.